Hello and welcome back. So let's continue with the lesson which we have started in the last class. In case you have not watched the previous video, I request you to please go back and watch it. So let's begin. Cyclops, he said, take a bowl of wine from the hand of your guest. It may serve to digest the man's flesh that you have eaten and show what drink our ship held before it went down. All I ask in recompense, if you find it good, is to be dismissed in a whole skin. Truly, you must look to have few visitors, if you observe this new custom of eating your guest. Cyclops, take a bowl of wine from the hand of your guest, and it will be really wonderful if you have this. So he gave it. It will help you in digesting the man's flesh that you have eaten, and also it is like a gift from us. And if you really like it, then all I ask from you is to dismiss us, to leave us alive. And truly, it is not a good custom of eating your own guest. The brute took and drank, and vehemently enjoyed the taste of wine, which was new to him, and swilled again at the flagon, and entreated for more, and prayed Ulysses to tell him his name, that he might bestow a gift upon the man who had given him such brave liquor. The Cyclops, he said, had grapes, but this rich juice, he swore, was simply divine. Again Ulysses plied him with the wine, and the fool drank it as fast as he poured it out, and again he asked the name of his benefactor, which Ulysses, cunningly dissembling, said, My name is No Man. My kindred and friends in my own country call me No Man. Then said the Cyclops, This is the kindness I will show thee, No Man. I will eat thee last of all thy friends. He had scarce expressed his savage kindness when the fumes of the strong wine overcame him, and he reeled down upon the floor and sank into a deep sleep. Now the monster took it and drank it, and he enjoyed the taste of the wine, and it was completely new to him. So he asked for it again, and he kept on drinking it. He kept on asking for more and more. He prayed to Ulysses to tell him his name, so that he can give him some gift for providing such a wonderful gift. The Cyclops, he said that till now he had drank grape juice, but this juice that you provide is something different. So again he kept asking Ulysses, you tell me what's your name. And Ulysses, instead of telling him the name, he kept on providing the wine so that he becomes a little drunk. So finally Ulysses said his name. He said, My name is No Man. Everyone in my country calls me No Man. So Cyclops says, this kindness that you have shown me, because of this gift that you have given me, I will show a little bit of kindness towards you, No Man, and I will eat you last. I will eat all your friends, and at last I will eat you. And because of that strong wine, he started feeling drunk, and he fell on the floor and he slept. He went into a deep sleep. Ulysses watched his time while the monster lay insensible, and heartening up his men, they placed the sharp end of the stake in the fire till it was heated red hot. And some god gave them a courage beyond that which they were used to have, and the 4 men with difficulty bore the sharp end of the huge stake, which they had heated red hot, right into the eye of the drunken cannibal. Now Ulysses watched the monster. He was laying insensible. He told his men to have courage, and they placed the sharp end of that stake which they had sharpened in the fire till it was red hot. And God gave them some courage, and they used it. They used that courage, and those 4 men with difficulty they bore that sharp end of the huge stake which was red hot, and they put it right into the eye of the drunken monster. He, waking, roared with the pain so loud that all the cavern broke into claps like thunder. They fled and dispersed into corners. He plucked the burning stake from his eye and hurled the wood madly about the cave. Then he cried out with a mighty voice for his brethren, the Cyclops. that dwelt hard by in caverns upon hills. They, hearing the terrible shout, came flocking from all parts to inquire what ailed Polyphemus, and what cause he had for making such horrid clamours in the night time to break their sleep. He made answer from within that no man had hurt him, no man had killed him, no man was with him in the cave. They replied, If no man has hurt thee, and no man is with thee, then thou art alone, and the evil which affects thee is from the hand of heaven, which none can resist or help. So they left him, and went their way, thinking that some disease troubled him. Now the monster, he started screaming with pain. He was so loud that entire caves started clapping like thunders. The Ulysses men, they started hiding, running here and there. The Cyclops had gone mad. He was so much in pain, he just plucked the burning stake from his eye and he started running in that cave from here and there. He wanted to kill them. And then he started calling out for his brothers, the other Cyclops who lived nearby. And those people, hearing him shout, they started coming near his cave. Since it was closed, they stood outside and they started asking him, What happened? Why are you screaming in the middle of this night? The Cyclops answers that no man had hurt him. No man tried to kill me, and no man is with me in this cave. So the other Cyclops thought, if you're saying that no man has hurt you and no man is with you and you are alone, then the evil has affected you. You are suffering with some disease and you need some help. And they all left, thinking that he is troubled with some disease. He, blind and ready to split with the anguish of the pain, went groaning up and down in the dark to find the doorway, which when he found, he removed the stone and sat in the threshold, feeling if he could lay hold on any man going out with the sheep, which the day now breaking were beginning to issue forth to their accustomed pastures. But Ulysses made knots of the osier twigs, upon which the Cyclops commonly slept, with which he tied the fattest and fleeciest of the rams together, 3 in a rank, and under the middle ram he tied a man, and himself last, wrapping himself fast with both his hands in the rich wool of one, the fairest of the flock. And now the sheep began to issue forth very fast. As they passed, he felt the backs of those fleecy wools, never dreaming that they carried his enemies under them. So they passed on till the last ram came loaded with his wool and Ulysses together. He stopped that ram and felt him, and had his hand once in the hair of Ulysses, yet knew it not. Now this Cyclops, he was completely blind and he was full with anger because of the pain, and he went screaming here and there, and he went to find the doorway. He started touching the entire area to find the main entrance, which when he found, he removed that stone and he sat in the middle, feeling that he could lay hold on any man trying to go out with the sheep. Now since it was almost like day was breaking, it was early morning, he thought that even the sheep, the goats, it was their regular pattern. When it is early morning, they would just go out to pasture. Now Ulysses, what he did was, he made knots of the osier twigs. These are nothing but some flexible twigs. He tied the fattest and the fleeciest of the rams. Rams are nothing but the male sheeps. He tied them together, 3 in a row. Under the middle ram, he tied a man, and himself last. Now when the sheep started to go from that path, from the main entrance, as they passed, this Cyclops who was sitting on the way, he started feeling the backs of the wolves or the sheep, and he never thought that under them it carried the enemies. So they passed on till the last ram came loaded with his wool and Ulysses together. So in the last one it was Ulysses. So he stopped that ram and he felt him, and he also felt his hand once in the hair of Ulysses, but he did not come to know that it was Ulysses' hair. He thought it was the ram's wool. When Ulysses found himself free, he let go of his hold and assisted in disengaging his friends. The rams which had befriended them, they carried off with them to the ships, where their companions, with tears in their eyes, received them as men escaped from death. They plied their oars and set their sails, and when they were got as far off from shore as a voice could reach, Ulysses cried out to the Cyclops, Cyclops, thou should not have so much abused thy monstrous strength as to eat thy guest. The Cyclops heard and came forth enraged, and in his anger he plucked a fragment of a rock and threw it with blind fury at the ships. It narrowly escaped lighting upon the bark in which Ulysses sat, but with the fall it raised so fierce an ebb as bore back the ship till it almost touched the shore. Cyclops, said Ulysses, if any ask thee who imposed on thee that unsightly blemish in thine eye, say it was Ulysses, son of Laertes, the king of Ithaca, am I called, the waster of cities. Then they crowded sail and beat the old sea and went forth with a forward gale. And when finally Ulysses found himself free, he let go of his hold and he helped his friends in disengaging themselves, and they put all those rams in their ships. They carried them to their ships, where their companions with tears in their eyes received them, because till then no man has escaped from death. And they started plying their oars and they started setting their sails. And as they got far off from the shore, Ulysses, he said, Cyclops, you should not have showed your monstrous strength by eating your guest. And when he heard this, when the Cyclops heard the voice, he came forward furious and he picked up a rock and he threw it blindly in anger. And that stone or that rock, it narrowly escaped the ship. But with that he said loudly, Cyclops, if anyone asks you, who did this to you? What happened to your eye? Then say it was Ulysses, son of Laertes, the king of Ithaca, and I am the waster of cities. And then they started to sail and they beat the old sea, they crossed the old sea, and they went forward with their future adventures. I hope you have understood this lesson. In case you have any doubts, you can comment below. Keep liking and do subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. Take care.